Chloe Zhao, the director of Hamnet, sparked a lot of outrage in the part of the internet that I like to frequent, which is the academic and the literary side of Twitter. Now, Zhao stated that she didn't understand the original lines of Hamlet, more than a third of them, and that she could have used a dictionary to look them up, but that doesn't matter because you don't need to understand the words. What matters is the feeling that you get from watching people perform them. Now, literary snobs, and I include myself there, were outraged. How could somebody present Hamlet if they don't even understand it? They don't know its true meaning after all. And so here's where I want to talk about ideas about reading, about what's on the surface versus a book's hidden or deeper or its true meaning. And so in my outrage, I watched Hamnet last night and I've lost all of my rage. My God, what a fucking beautiful movie. I wept audibly. The whole theater was sniffling. I left the movie very satisfied, if not emotionally bruised. And for Zhao, the real meaning of Hamlet doesn't matter. The movie, for me, is a story about grief and about how all-encompassing it can become. And at the end of the movie, Agnes watches the play and she doesn't really care much for the plot. That doesn't matter. She just wants to see what it says about her son, but then she starts to see it about how Shakespeare is processing his grief. When she reaches out to Hamnet at the end, my God, that was just so beautiful, wasn't it? She doesn't see the Prince of Denmark. She sees the son that died in her arms. And that's not, of course, the proper or the accurate interpretation of Hamlet, but it's a beautiful one. It's a very moving interpretation. It's the reader projecting her relentless grief onto the story and making a different story out of it. And that is what reading is about. Now, I'm a fan of Shakespeare, and I happen to love Hamlet. I taught it in high school, and I would make Hamlet interesting to the class through one of my favorite interpretations of it. And here it is. So Shakespeare left Agnes, or Anna, to work in London. Shakespeare wrote a bunch of sonnets about infidelity, and so Shakespeare suspects that his wife is having an affair with his brother, Richard. Shakespeare isn't actually sure if Hamnet is his biological son. Now, in the play, if you read Hamlet, you'll see that he's very confused as to why his mother would marry Claudius so quickly, not even 2 months. Hamlet's father was like a god among men, and Claudius is just a fucking dweeb. And then Hamlet realizes that he too is kind of a dweeb and not much like his father at all. Maybe Claudius is Hamlet's biological father, and so maybe Hamnet was Richard's biological son. And that could be why Shakespeare, a man who had a brilliant gift with words, in his dying will, he famously leaves his wife his second best bed. His second best bed to your wife, to the mother of your children? That's kind of petty and shitty, isn't it? Now, is this interpretation the right interpretation? I don't know. Why do I like this interpretation? I'd rather not say, but it's an entertaining one, at least, and my class loved it. Or is the movie's interpretation of Hamlet as a processing of grief the right interpretation? That's also unclear. The truth is, there is no truth to a book. There is no hidden meaning behind words. Critics for a long time have thought that they are presented with a text and then they have to kind of dig through it, to excavate, to find what's hidden underneath it, what's below the tip of the iceberg, what the author has repressed and what's been internalized, and all of these other kind of spatial metaphors of surface versus depth. But that's never what they were actually doing. In the end, there's only the reader projecting their own shit onto the text. There's no digging beneath it. You are not Sherlock. You don't see truth and you don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. And we don't read a book as it is. Agnes created a beautiful interpretation when she reached out to the actor. And when we read, we reach out to the characters in these books as well. And the more honest and vulnerable we are about ourselves and what we're bringing in, the more beautiful the connection. And so I wish that critics could be a little less arrogant about what the right meaning of a book should be. I made that mistake yesterday, and I'm glad that I saw the movie so that I could wretchedly weep away my arrogance. And that said, if reading really is about what we bring to it, then it helps actually keep track of what we're bringing. And so I built an app called Reading Rate because I wanted a place to save the thoughts that I have when I'm reading, the quotes that stop me or the connections that I'm drawing between books, not as a kind of graveyard of highlights and reviews, but as a living record of how my thinking evolves over time. And if any of that resonated with you, you might like it as well. The link's in the description. Thanks for watching.